How did you know Sean?
I was on range with him for a couple of days back when he was incarcerated before he passed. We were in Maplehurst, and if I can remember correctly, I think we were on 9E. But we were on the ninth floor. I know that for a fact. Pretty much, we were let out of our cells. We had breakfast in our cells in the morning time. We got out onto range like we do whenever it is that they let us out, which is slim to none at Maplehurst. Some of the men on range realized that one of the guys, I didn't know at the time, was curled up on the bench, what we call the bus stop, up against the wall. And he was laying there for a while, so they went up to him and they asked him what was wrong. He said he wasn't feeling good. His stomach was killing him. His stomach was killing him. So they told him, like, yo, like, try and see healthcare. So whatever, they went up to the glass. He ended up going out. He was gone for probably about 2 minutes. I would say 5 minutes at most. He got back on range. When the man asked him what happened, he said they either gave him Pepto Bismol or whatever it's called, or Gravol, and told him he'll be good. It was just a stomach ache. So they put him back on range. Got back out a few hours later. It was the same thing with him where he was on the bus stop, laying there, curled up, like he was in pain, like in the fetal position, like he was in pain. You know what I'm saying? At this time, this is when he started. He went up to the glass and he's like, yo, I'm not feeling good. I need a doctor. I need a doctor now. Guards, this is when guards were telling him, oh, you need to put in a request. There's no doctor here. Then they said that they'll bring the doctor. No doctor came. All the way up until we went into the cells to go and eat dinner, which is at like 5:30, something like that. Got back out for the little last hour that we usually have at the end of the night. We were all chilling, whatever. Same shit with him. Nothing changed with him throughout the day other than him trying to beat a 1-2 lap to walk off the pain, as he said, right?
Yeah.
So it gets to the end of the night now where it's time for final lockup and counts and everything and whatnot before we go into the cells. And as they're telling us to lock up, Sean walks towards the front of the range and he tells them that he's not locking up until he sees a doctor. He's been complaining about his stomach all day. Nobody's done nothing about it. He's not going in his cell. He's not going in his cell. And there was a blonde white shirt, I guess they're what you call the captains in provincial, looked at him and told him, I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm trying to start my weekend. You can deal with it with the night staff or you can deal with it tomorrow. And then that's when he pretty much reluctantly walked in towards his cell. He walked into his cell because he figured there's nothing he can do. And honestly, there is nothing that you can do. So I guess you can say a couple hours into the night, we were on the same range. We weren't cellies or anything, but I was in the cell directly underneath him. So I was in cell 6. So if I can remember correctly, he would have probably been upstairs in 15 or 14, depending on how the range was set up. Middle of the night, we're here, and then all you hear is from dead silence to all you're hearing is bang, bang, bang. I need help. I need help. Get a guard. I need help. I need help. Then when all the guards rushed on range and whatnot, they ran upstairs and I could hear the door open above my cell. I could feel the vibration from when it hit the wall from when they opened the cell. So I knew it had something to do with him. Yeah, so the few hours, at least an hour or two before one of the guards told me that he passed. They never said how he passed or anything like that. At least a good 5-6 hours before they took him out of the cell.
Sean would have been in jail for about, I think, 4 months. Okay. November, December, January, February, March. Like 5 months.
Okay.
Not even like a whole 5 months. He was transferred from an out-of-town jail. I'm sorry, I can't really remember the name of it. Then he was transferred to Maplehurst. He got to Maplehurst like the Friday, and he passed away on the Sunday. He was only at Maplehurst Correctional Facility for less than 47 hours or something, and he passed away in their custody. We didn't hear anything about Sean until like around 7 o'clock in the night like 7 going 7:30. A female officer came to our house. She knocked the door. She asked to speak to my mom. I asked her why she needed to speak to my mom, what this was regarding. She could speak to me. Then she told me that my brother had passed away. Basically, speaking to the coroner a couple of times to get a proper understanding, my brother had basically like how you would have a heart attack. A heart attack is caused from a clottage in the artery. So he had an intestinal heart attack where a part of his intestine was clogged. It just stopped and it was clogging. His blood couldn't get through. And his system was shutting down. His body was shutting down each organ one by one. It was just shutting down. And that occurred for 27 hours. That he was in pain asking for help, and they didn't help him for 27 freaking hours, which doesn't make sense to me at all. Because I was told by the coroner, who is an emergency doctor himself, meaning that when people get shot, gun stab wounds, he would be the person to stitch you back up. He said to me that it would have been absolutely impossible for you not to see that he was dying. He was dying in front of your eyes, and nobody helped my brother.
I understand now that a lot of the people that are inside, we look at them as criminals, but criminals, the true criminals, are the people behind the scenes. They're not in jail, right? The people that are in jail are many times trapped. It's a trap that was sent out. Only the strong survive, right? So at the end of the day, they're in that survival of the fittest, and they're doing exactly what the conditions created them to do. A lot of people might not agree with that, and then this is not for them, because this is the truth that it is. The more I look into it, is the more I see that the crime is beyond the people that are in jail. The people that are in jail are mainly, and I'm not riding, and I'll be real with you, I am not here to picket for or ride or fight for child molesters or pedophiles. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that are in the system because strictly because they're poor or they're of color, right?